Hi, I'm Jason. Today I want to introduce the video game industry analysis, which I have done for Nintendo market research. First, let me introduce the convo model of Nintendo. Nintendo is a Japanese multinational consumer electronics and video game company. It is one of the world's largest video game companies by market capitalization, creating some of the best-known and top-selling video games such as Mario, The Legend of Zelda, and Pokémon. I will report the analysis to Satoshi Yamato, General Manager of Marketing Division. The President, Manager, Executive Officer, and Product Department of Nintendo will also be interested in the results of this project. The need of this analysis is to get a better understanding of the competition in the video games industry for different global markets. Also, for Nintendo, it is very important to understand the current trends of the video games market from the analysis of the dataset, so that they can know what kinds of video games their customers like and make marketing and product improvements. For the vision of this project, the aim of this project is to analyze the competition in different markets and understand the trends in the video game market. To analyze the competition, I will use the tabulate function to look for the main competitors of Nintendo based on the global sales. To analyze the trend in sales, I will use Graph Builder to analyze the current trends about the genres and platforms of the most popular games. It can help understand what kinds of video games people are interested in currently and what platforms they are using. For the outcome part of this project, after this project is executed, Nintendo can know who are their main competitors in the video game industry. Also, we can understand what kinds of video games and what platforms customers like currently in terms of various global markets. The marketing managers can use these findings to improve and modify their marketing strategies in different markets. The game production department can use these findings to create more video games and that would be popular and meet the current trends. After they have created some ideas about new games, they can conduct some surveys in different global markets to see the degree of preference towards the new games. For example, if the sports games have been the most popular game genre, then Nintendo needs to create some new sports games and then test the effect in different markets. So based on the convert model of Nintendo, I pulled out 3 frame questions that need to be solved. First, which publishers are the main competitors of Nintendo based on the global sales? Second, what kinds of video games should Nintendo create to meet the current market trend and customer needs in different markets? Third, if Nintendo wants to expand their business and create more video games, which platforms should Nintendo focus on? For solving the frame questions, I choose the video game industry dataset. This dataset contains a list of video games released from 1980 to 2016 with sales greater than 100,000 copies. It includes several categorical variables such as the name of the video games, platforms, genres, and publishers, and also includes continuous variables such as the release year, sales in North America, Europe, Japan, and the rest of the world, and the global sales of each game. Now comes the data analysis part, which are also the solutions about the frame questions. First, we want to know the main competitors of Nintendo. So I applied the jump tabulate function to pull out the publishers and there are various market sales and global sales. Then I drove the template script to a new report by jump and sort the data by global sales to find out which publishers are the main competitors to Nintendo. So as we can see in this chart, Nintendo has the most global sales in the video game industry, and its main competitors include Electronic Arts, Activision, Sony Computer Entertainment, and Ubisoft. And then we want to understand the market trend of video games by genres. So first, I applied the graph builder to show the video game genre trend based on the number of the released video games from 1980 to 2016. As we can see from the first bar chart, globally, from 1980 to 2003, sports was the most popular video game genre based on the number of released video games. However, after 2012, action video game has become the most popular genre. And then because we want to know the market trend, we need to know the sales situations of current years, which means 5 years. So after filtering data to only include the data from 2012 to 2016, I looked at the genre trend in the global markets to see which genres of video games are more popular all over the world based on the global sales. So as we can see from the second chart, based on the global sales, action, shooter, and sports are the 3 most popular video game genres globally since 2012. After that, we want to see the genre trend in different markets, including North America, Europe, Japan, and other regions in the world, to see which genres of video games are most popular in different markets. Just now I said, for the global market, action, shooter, and sports have become the top 3 video game genres since 2012. So when we look at different markets respectively, it is also the same situation in North America, Europe, and other parts of the world that these 3 genres of video games are the most popular. So as we can see from the first, second, and last bar chart, we can see that action, shooter, and sports are the most popular video game genres in these 3 areas. However, in Japan, role-playing video games have been sold most since 2012, as we can see in the third bar chart. Last, we want to see the market trend of video game platforms. So first, I applied the graph builder to show which platforms are most popular since 2012, so that we can know which platforms Nintendo needs to focus on in the current market. As we can see from this bar chart, based on the global sales, PS3, PS4, and X360 have become the most popular video game platforms since 2012. So based on the analysis and also the convo model, we can draw out these conclusions and recommendations. First is about the competitors. Even Nintendo has achieved the most global sales since 1980 in the video game industry. It is still facing a lot of strong competitors such as Electronic Arts, Activision, and Sony Computer Entertainment. Second, based on the market trend analysis about video game genres, action, shooter, and sports have become the top 3 video game genres all over the world. So Nintendo can release more video games about action, shooter, and sports in North America, Europe, and other regions in the future. However, in Japan, they should focus more on creating role-playing video games to meet the needs of Japanese market. Third, Based on the trend analysis about video game platforms, PS3, PS4, and X360 have become the most popular video game platforms. Therefore, Nintendo should create more video games for these platforms. Also, in the future, they can release some new versions about the old video games which had been very popular on other platforms, such as Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt, so that customers can also play these games on the popular and trendy platforms such as PS3 and PS4. So that's all the analysis and recommendation about video game industry for Nintendo. Thank you.